This is a bison tongue. Of all of the meals that I've cooked, this one by far gets the most pushback from others. But believe it or not, at one point in time, this was considered a delicacy. Early Western explorers would hunt bison and take only the tongue, leaving the remainder of the animal to be eaten by the scavengers of the Great Plains. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to put it in a brine for at least 5 days. I've got the brine here ready to go. It's completely cool. And unfortunately, this is one of the few recipes I do get from a cookbook, so I'm not going to share that. You'll have to buy the cookbook yourself. But I will give the details in the caption. So we're going to put this into a gallon Ziploc bag. And I don't know if all of our brine is going to fit, but we're going to scoop as much of it as possible in here. And then we're going to let it rest in the fridge again for about 5 days. Now that we've had our tongue in the brine for about 5 days, we're going to get ready to start cooking. We're going to strain out all of the solids and keep those and get rid of the liquid. We're going to transfer all of our solids to a large pot. Then we're going to put in fresh water, just enough to get everything covered. Next, we're going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Then we're going to reduce the heat down to simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for 4 to 5 hours. This can also be accomplished by setting the oven to 350, bringing it to a boil on the stove, and then putting it in the oven after that point, but I'm just going to keep everything on the... After our tongue has been simmering for about 4.5 hours, we're going to take it out and cool it down. This is best accomplished by plunging it in an ice bath, just because it's quicker, but you can just let it cool down naturally if you choose to. So now we're going to let that cool completely before we start to peel the skin. Now that our tongue has cooled off, we've patted it dry. We're going to skin it, and if we did it right, we should just be able to pull it off, and it should peel pretty easily. After we skin it, we're going to prep for serving. The first thing we're going to do is cut this connective tissue. It's completely edible, but the texture is a little bit off-putting, and it's got some hard pieces of fat here. So it can be saved for soup or something else like that. Now we're going to take and cut real thin slices. This is all I'm going to cut for now. because that's all I'm going to eat at the moment. The rest of this, we're going to wrap in plastic wrap and throw in the fridge. The next part to do is assemble our sandwich. You can use the meat cold, or I've got it heating up over a skillet on medium just to warm it up a little bit. Got some alfalfa sprouts. Gonna throw on some pickled zucchini. Put our tongue and top it off with some nice grainy mustard. All we do is plate it up. I've got some homemade sweet potato chips made in duck fat, and we have a sandwich that's in taste very similar to roast beef.